excuse me, Norma McDaniel, City of Inkster resident.
Is that all you have to say?
Zoning Board Commissioner for years, years, years.
And what else?
It's too much.
Okay.
That's why I just cut it off.
Me too.
Vanola Williams, Inkster resident. I've been on the Zoning Board of Appeals since probably 2014. I'm a former employee of the City of Inkster. I served the City of Inkster for 15 years before I left. And welcome.
Kimberly Johnson, I've been here in Inkster resident for approximately 13 years. Previous employee of the City of Inkster. Retired.
My name is Ava Lindsay. My name is Ava Lindsay, and I'm a resident of Inkster since I was 9, but I'm one of those that left twice and came back. Glad to be here. I have no other commitment except to my family business and to Inkster right now. And I also am an ambassador for the Multiple Sclerosis Society. Because I do have multiple sclerosis, so I advocate for them, and that's my role right now as an ambassador for them.
Thank you all. All right, that was a bit informal, so I'm going to formally start our meeting. This regular meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals is called to order at 6:06 p.m. I'm going to step out of Robert's Rules of Order really quickly. You all have minutes in front of you, and they're dated for December 22nd, though I do believe there were comments that that's not the most recent meeting. So I don't believe that we should approve those minutes since it's not the last meeting, the actual minutes from our last meeting, if you're all okay with that. Okay? All right, moving to the third item, new business. The first item for new business is the election of officers. We have chair, vice chair, secretary, and deputy secretary, all positions that need to be filled.
Question,
Yes,
what
ma'am.
is a deputy secretary, because we've never had one before?
It's specified in the Michigan Municipal Leagues, I believe that we should have that office, but it will basically operate the same way that the vice chair does, like in absence of the chair, or so in absence of the secretary,
Okay.
that they was. In some organizations, it may be referred to as the recording secretary.
Okay.
So,
Versus correspondence.
right, so are there any nominations for chair?
I'd like to make a motion or nomination to, for Commissioner Vanola Williams as chair.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
All right, we have a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Is there a motion for vice chair?
I, Commissioner Williams, have a motion for vice chair for Commissioner Ruth E. Williams, although she's not here because she's at the library meeting, which I think was called first. But she said if you needed, that I could call her and she could come out to the meeting to accept the nomination if that's what you need her to do.
I
would
support the
accept
motion.
it. I was gonna say, I would support that unless there is opposition. Yeah, are those in, does she need to, I think she needs to accept the motion.
She told me she could come out the meeting, so let me.
I think a verbal would be okay.
That's what I asked her.
Oh, okay.
I said, well, do you give me your proxy that you want, that's fine. And she's like, you can call me, I can step out the meeting. I said, okay,
Okay.
fine, so I will give her a call.
Sade, I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
How many more members is it?
This is
That's
the
Just
not here.
Ruthie.
one.
Just one?
Mm-hmm. 6, yep, 7 of you all.
What's her name?
Ruth E. Oh, you're not talking to me.
And I just talked to her today. Oh, there she is. And I'll put her on speaker.
Okay, thank you.
Ruthie,
Yeah.
there's a motion on the floor to nominate you as vice chair, and we need whether you decline or accept.
Why you do me like that, though?
Huh?
Why you do me like that?
I said for vice chair.
Are you chair?
Yes.
All right, I accept then.
Thank you, Ms. Williams.
Goodbye, you know.
Goodbye.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Is there a nomination for secretary?
I nominate Norma McDaniel.
I second.
Do you accept?
Yes.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. And last but not least, deputy secretary nomination.
I make a motion for Patrice Patton.
I second.
Do you accept?
Yes.
Reluctantly.
Fine.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion passes. Thank you all.
Okay, Mr. Chair, you can take over.
For the record, for chair, we have Enola Williams. Vice chair, we have Ruth E. Williams. For secretary, we have Norma McDaniels. And for deputy secretary, we have Patrice Patton for this current board of the Zoning Board of Appeals. So thank you all. The next item we'll proceed to is 3B for new business. The first case that we will hear today is case number 24-01. It's 4301 Harriet in Inkster, Michigan. The applicant is Inkster Housing Commission, and they are seeking a variance for setbacks on all sides of structure due to the minimum requirements of the lot area and the structure of the building as it stands already being outside of that requirement. We also have a representative here from Inkster Housing Commission, Mr. Elliott Patton, that can answer questions should you have any. Do you mind coming up front to the mic? So the motion, actually, there's no motion. You all, again, feel free to lead me if I'm going astray.
Good evening.
So Elliot, are you able to tell us a tad bit more about the current case before us?
Yeah, we can go into some of the details. I'll stick to the broad picture. So we had, Inkster Housing Commission had acquired the property last year from the city of Inkster via deed, and the property was built, I want to say 1970?
70 or 71, yeah.
71?
70 or 71.
Oh, 70 or 71, okay. At that, from my understanding is at that time, these, the setback requirements weren't part of the zoning ordinance.
Could you speak a little bit louder in the mic?
Yep, sorry,
Thank you.
all people problems. From my understanding, back in 70, 71, the zoning ordinance at that time didn't have these setback requirements when the city had built the property. And the city had transferred the property to Inkster Housing Commission, and we are in the process of selling the property now to an investor who wants to redevelop it, and they're looking to have the zoning requirement fixed up. So,
Okay, so the developer that's coming in that wants a development, is it still going to be for housing, residential housing? Is that what they didn't want to develop it for?
my understanding is they want to do affordable housing there, yes.
They want what?
They want to do affordable housing there?
Okay, so my question on the 25 feet deficiency along Harriet, that would be the front yards of the apartment complex, correct? On Harriet.
Yes. Yep.
So is it saying that there's a deficiency of 25 feet there, or it should be less than 25 feet? Or more than 25 feet? Because it's not, they don't have much of a front yard along Harriet over there at those apartments.
Correct.
They don't have much of a side yard.
Correct. And the buildings were built before the
Right.
the
And then
ordinance line were-
4301 is the front half of the complex. That's A. Because 4401 is the back half of the complex. I thought the front half, I thought 4301 was closer to Pine. That's the
Oh, I
front
got what
half.
you're saying. I got what you're
Right,
saying. So
and
you're
then
saying
that's A,
the front.
and then building B is the second half. So they wanna take away some of that front off of Harriet?
No, they want to
Okay.
get they want to get a, they want to get the
Variant.
the variance, sorry, long
okay.
day. They want to get a variance to say that they'll be okay in the future as they go to pull any building permits,
Got you. Okay.
loans, so on and
Alright.
so forth, to rehabilitate the
Okay.
buildings.
Okay. So that's A, so B,
Same situation there.
for Pine Street.
Yeah. It's just that's the
Then-
other side of the building.
The side yard setback is that second half, the back half that I talked about, that's the south half, that's B.
Yep.
Okay. And then the minimum lot area to 96,000 square feet, as it's only right now, 56,000 square feet, is that where the parking, that's the parking lot, I'm gonna take it?
The current requirement is 96,000 square feet for a
That
building of that many units.
Okay,
So they're looking to get the variance to meet the 56,000 square feet that the lot as a whole has.
If the lot is what?
The lot is currently 56,000 square feet, so they're looking
and
for
it
a
needs to be
variance
90 according to the ordinance.
according to the ordinance, right?
Would it go bigger than that at any point? Because I see it says, the requirement is 96,000, right? So are you making it that big?
We're,
You
I have,
utilizing all the property?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
between the parking lot
Okay.
Right.
and the buildings.
So
I
it would all be
believe.
utilized, the
Yep.
96,000, okay.
And so right now, as you know, it doesn't encroach on that that space that's in between that parking lot and the parking lot to St. Clemens Church. That space in between there's like a little grassy area.
Mhm. Nope, that's a different.
Okay.
So the request is just for variance?
Yep, just for the variance.
When someone's speaking, they should raise their hand.
Oh, yeah, okay, sorry. I don't know how to be no chair, this is new to me, but this is all because of some other people. To be recognized by the chair, if you have a question, please raise your hand. That includes myself.
Okay, well, but no, she wants to speak.
Oh, I thought she was just, oh, you wanna speak? Oh,
I just had a question.
okay.
That's a directed through the chair.
After the introduction, we had addressed it as a zoning board of appeals. Should we not say zoning and housing board of appeals?
No,
Those are different-
no.
okay.
The zoning board of appeals is strictly to deal with issues that have to do with ordinances. And everybody that does anything in the city of Inkster has to go to the planning commission first. And if the planning commission approves something that generally, I'm not gonna say goes against ordinance, but is a little different, then they have to come before this body to get approval to do whatever it is that's not in the ordinance. So in other words, we're the ordinance keepers. Yes,
Madam
Thank
Chair,
you.
why isn't the developer here to explain to the ZBA their position? They came before the planning commission, so why aren't they here to present to us?
Because they're intending to purchase the property from us, and they're making this a condition of the sale.
right.
But still, they should be explaining what they plan on doing with the property.
They're not releasing those details until they own the property.
Right.
They talked to the planning commission about the details.
Oh, did they?
Yes, they did. Yes, they did.
That we didn't know anything about.
Pardon?
We didn't know that.
You said
We're
they
not
didn't know
party
that.
to that transaction.
Okay, I don't think I got your name and your position.
Oh, sorry about that. My name's Elliot Patton. I'm the Procurement and Compliance Manager at Inkster Housing Commission.
Okay.
Did you
Okay,
say complaint manager?
compliance.
No.
Compliance.
Oh, I was about to say.
Well, then I have a question. What did the developer present at the planning commission meeting?
They decided, they said they wanted to, affordable housing, but they gave more details as to the affordable housing and who would be eligible to apply for the, units. They just talked about their plans.
Okay.
From our understanding, what we were told is they just wanted to rehabilitate, remodel and operate them. I'm not sure exactly to what extent, what other things they had in mind, so.
Okay.
Didn't want to speak to that effect.
Okay.
Not our place.
So are you asking for the variance, or are they asking for the variance?
We're asking for the variance because it's a condition of the sale.
Okay,
Yeah.
that should be explained to, see, these are new members of ZPA, so they don't understand or know the
Got it,
background
got it.
history. I'm on the planning commission also, so I know more about the background history. So that's why I'm asking the information to educate
Thank you.
my
Thank you.
commissioners.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, it says that the applicant is Inkster Housing, and that Inkster Housing is requesting the variance
Okay.
in order to sell the
Sell.
property. Okay. Any other questions?
Oh, I do. So, in order to, for them to buy the property, I'm new, so bear with me. I just want clarity. So in order for them to buy the property from you, you need to get this ordinance has to be done, or there's no deal, period.
The variance,
Correct.
the variance has to be approved.
Okay.
That's their condition of the sale because they wanted the
So
i's
they
and
won't,
t's
so,
dotted and crossed.
I don't know what the ruling will be on this, I'm just
Sure.
talking to you.
But
But
no,
say we are
Jennifer
able
could
to
turn the mic on.
comply with
The
some
mic
of
is not
it,
on.
they're like, no, we won't negotiate, it has to be what they're asking.
I'm not sure of that. We'd have to go back and ask them on that. Right now, this is what they've asked for.
Okay. No, that's all I have. Thank you.
Yes.
I can speak just a little bit, just because I'm in real estate and I understand contingencies. So I can understand exactly what he's saying with regard to a buyer wanting to purchase a particular property, and they have a contingency.
Right.
Because if they can't have this variance, then they can't build what they're trying to build.
Understood, yeah.
So it makes absolute sense for them to want to have this done before they accept the offer. So it definitely makes sense
Yeah, it
with regard to how it's being, you know, presented, exactly.
Yeah.
To add on to that, one of the things that I was told when we were in those, I guess, discussions about this, they might have trouble, if they were to buy it without these, they could have troubles getting a building
Absolutely.
permit to replace a roof or
Makes sense.
to put on new siding or what have you. So that's why they decided they needed to get it a contingency for the sale.
Well, I have a question. Do they plan on leaving the existing structure that is there and possibly remodeling it? Or do you know if they plan on tearing the whole thing down and starting over from scratch? Did they go in any direction as to about what they wanted to do?
I don't want to speak officially.
Okay.
I'm trying to recall what those discussions were, but I
Okay.
don't remember them
Right,
100%.
right. Yes.
So when they went to planning, they laid out everything for planning though, right? Because I understand what she's saying now. They laid everything out for planning, but we don't know what they said to planning, right? We don't know what was said at the planning meeting.
I don't know what was said at the planning meeting. I wasn't party
You
to that.
talking about the developer? What the developer asked for in planning?
Yes.
Do you remember what the developer presented in planning? Norma?
Not in detail,
Okay, all right, okay,
but they did give a detailed description of what they planned on doing with the property.
okay. All right, Commissioner Daniels?
So, again, so if somebody's purchasing your property and they have a contingency, and it's, to my understanding, what we're voting on is the ordinance with regard to the variance of what they're asking for. So I don't think that what they're developing has anything to do with the other, because planning is making sure that whatever they develop is correct. So whatever they develop, now that they got to develop, this variance that they need for the development that they're doing is already in play.
Okay.
So they need this variance so that whatever they're developing will be already, there are no hiccups along the way, if that makes sense.
Yes, it does.
All right, thank you. Oh, yeah, and you did D. Okay,
Do we need a motion to approve this,
yes.
this case? Okay, I moved that we approve the request for the variance for case number 24-01, 4301 Harriet Street, Inkster, Michigan, 4141.
Second.
It was probably
Who was the second?
motioned by Commissioner McDaniel and second by Commissioner Daniels.
That we approve the variance.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? No. The ayes have it. Case number 24-01, 4301 Harriet Street, Inkster, Michigan. The variance has been approved.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Have a great day.
We don't mind selling property.
Absolutely.
For good reason.
Especially for affordable housing.
Right. For good reason. We don't have a problem with it.
Were you, do you live in Benton by any chance?
No sad bars
Yeah.
at the meeting.
Okay, because there was a job in here.
Supposed to have some order.
That's what it was, Ferndale, yeah, that's.
We have to tell
She
them.
said you're not supposed to have some.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's my
During the
bad. That was
commissioner
about
meeting.
another meeting he was at.
Item C, case number 23-07, 337-339 Inkster, they got Inkster Street, should be Inkster Road, Inkster, Michigan. The applicant, Inkster Plaza, Brilliant Krenakis, is that correct?
Kriyankas?
Kriyankas LLC, has requested a parking reduction variance to the regulation outside in the zoning ordinance of section 155.077, off-street parking, table 5-2, off-street parking requirements. The applicant, a proposed child care facility, is deficient in required parking, one per instructor, the administrator, or other paid or volunteer employees, plus one per company vehicle, plus one per every 6 students allowed by the license. In addition, 2 drop-off spaces shall be provided for each 6 licensed or registered students. Drop-off spaces shall not be separated from the entrance by a traffic lane. And we have, you're here to speak? Come on up to the mic.
Hi.
Hello.
So you guys want me to go first?
We need you to speak into the mic.
Okay, so hi, the company is Brilliant Kriyankas, is what I'm proposing. I first want to say that this plaza is empty. Are you guys familiar with the Inkster Plaza?
Yes.
Okay, you see how it's been empty lately. Within the last probably year, going into the second year, it's been pretty clean up there. Cause I've had the property, I got it, obtained it, forgive me, March 2023, and I've had it this far, and I still have it. So the first thing I would like to address is when it states that you have to have 6 parking spaces. So it's plenty of parking spaces. You guys see that plaza is totally like wide open. The businesses have not. It's no business is there so far. I did have a hair salon at the end of the plaza. I lasted for about a year, but due to traffic, it seems like it's a high traffic area, but it's that particular spot does not draw in, bring in a lot of traffic. So I did close the hair salon down. Another business opened up right next to the space that I'm leasing out, and they closed down within 3 months. So the parking spaces is there, available, and I don't see businesses coming and opening up in that particular spot. I don't know if it's because of I don't know why it hasn't been working out for businesses opening there. But I would like to say that we are reducing somewhat, but not really, because the space that I have is one of the larger spaces in that plaza, whereas the parking spaces that's there would belong to me anyways, if that makes sense.
So you don't own the whole entire plaza?
No, ma'am.
Because I know Flower Bowl is on this end, correct? Is that the plaza you're talking about?
I'm talking about the plaza that's across from the Flower Bowl. So the Flower Bowl is about, maybe about 400 feet going towards Cherry Hill. And the plaza that I'm speaking of is kind of,
It's a second,
yes, ma'am. It's a pharmacy in there, but you wouldn't know it because it's not a lot of
Oh, you're
traffic
talking
there.
about the
Second
second plaza?
Oh, I know where you're talking.
Okay, not that, because there's like a room at the top that people have like a social, can have parties or whatever? You talking about that
And it's
plaza?
Yes.
also a
Yes,
a
ma'am.
pharmacy there too, right?
Yes, it is a pharmacy
Okay.
there, and then it's
I
a,
was trying to get in my mind's eye which plaza you were talking about.
okay, yes, ma'am. So, go ahead.
Hold on,
Oh, okay.
I'll recognize you. Okay, go
Okay,
ahead.
I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I'm learning.
That's okay. We all are.
Yes, we are together.
Go ahead with your question.
Oh, the question I have is, okay, you said that you're not really competing with the other businesses for parking space, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
But now if someone else moved in there, that would cause a problem at that point. Would that be correct?
I would still say it would not cause a problem because there's still plenty of parking spaces going, I don't know if I would say to the right or to the left, but it would still be plenty of parking spaces going towards Avondale. So would that be the right?
That's the left.
The left,
'Cause
okay.
the
Oh,
building
wait,
is
okay.
facing, the building is facing west.
Okay,
So
yes.
to your left would be
To the left, it would still
Avondale,
be plenty of
would be
parking
south.
spaces. On top of, it's an entire lot next to the hair salon, which that space is still vacant that I had, with plenty of parking spaces. So I don't foresee this area being very busy to where it would take up the spaces. It has been empty. Like I said, I've had the space for over a year.
Okay. We're hoping more businesses come back to Inkster.
I
But that's
believe
why I asked, because if there is someone that's interested in opening a business,
Yes, ma'am.
I don't want it to pose a problem for your children, for the childcare, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm thinking, because you want to be able to get in and out to your kids real easy.
So it's only one entrance in, anyways, no matter what type of businesses are there, there's only one
Right,
entrance.
true, the front.
Yes,
Right,
ma'am.
I get that, but, you don't want a lot of traffic in front, or,
So the good thing about this is where my proposed daycare center is to the right. So even if the other businesses which are to the left needed parking spaces, they wouldn't park where
okay, because they got that area over.
that area would belong to my space, anyways.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
You had a question, Ms. Johnson?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
The parking, if I have the right spot, you have parking on this side and then parking next to where the buildings are?
So it's parking on the right side and the left side, and then there's parking along the strip of it, and then there's also parking in the back of the
Okay.
plaza. So you still have plenty of parking spaces, which I do believe that my goal is to lease out more spaces, at least 3 more spaces. That's the goal, is to expand.
Okay.
Starting small and expanding. And then again, too, this is for a 15 children facility, so it wouldn't be 30, 40, 50 children in the building at one time. So we're looking at a small portion of children
Okay.
at one time.
Any other questions for the applicant? Yes, Commissioner
Yeah,
Daniels.
so I know exactly what plaza you're talking about because I live on Somerset Street. So
Okay. Yes.
you're asking for more parking. Is that what you're asking for?
No, ma'am. I'm just asking to utilize the space in a different manner than what it has been used as, or what it's labeled to be used as. So it's labeled to be used as parking spaces. But I'm requesting, and the changes that I'm proposing to make would not be permanent. This is something that can be put up and, put down. I only signed a 3-year lease, which I've already been in the lease over a year already. So I could stay longer, that's an option, but it's really just to borrow the parking spaces.
So right now, how much space do you have?
For the parking,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I didn't measure. I have an entire lot. So
So how do you know you need it if you don't know how much you have?
how do I know what is needed?
Yeah.
Because the state requires a certain amount of playground area.
Okay.
So I'm requesting to build a removable playground area in my parking spaces. And then I'm requesting to be allowed to use some of the parking spaces for the instructor, what else was it? The administrator, well, the administrator and the instructor would be the same thing.
Yeah.
So for 15 children, we wouldn't have a employee size of 10 people, maybe 5, probably more of 4 you would have working at one time for 15 children, so.
Okay.
Yes, Ms. Crutchfield.
Excuse my interruption. I think some pertinent information, and I will include this going in the future. The Planning Commission's note, and Ms. McDaniel, please correct me if I'm misspeaking. I believe that our applicant is here before us today because of, in the plans, the playground is in the parking lot.
Right, yes,
And in order to approve that, it needs to have a reduction of the parking spaces required for the structure.
Yes,
So
ma'am.
that's an important part that should have been included. My apologies.
Yes, ma'am, that's the, yes.
Yes.
I think I
So
remember.
where, I'm sorry, go ahead, finish. So where would the traffic, so you would cut off traffic going over there where you're gonna put the playground?
No, ma'am, because there's no traffic currently there now, and it has not been.
Can't go through?
No, ma'am, you cannot cut through.
Oh, okay,
Yes, no.
okay.
We're gonna-
Any other questions?
I have one.
Ms. Ga-
I have
okay,
one more, I'm
Ms. Lindsay.
sorry. If you, you said it's only for short term.
Well, no, that's not what I'm looking to have short term. I'm looking to, like I said, expand, but
Grow,
it will
okay.
not be a permanent.
Play structure.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
It's something
so
that
if it
can be.
had to be removed, it could be?
Yes, ma'am. That's
Okay.
the perfect way to say it.
All
That it's
right,
not
that's what,
permanent.
that's all.
And it's all incumbent of what happens at the end of your 3-year lease, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Any
then
other
hopefully I can
questions?
find somewhere
Yes, sir. Go
permanent.
ahead.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I just had a statement, because I think I remember when I was on the planning commission, you coming in and kind of giving us a brief overall of what was going on there. And the more you talk about it, I kind of remember what was actually going on with that, so.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
have a little understanding of what you're asking for now.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
And
Ms.
can,
Johnson?
if you guys
So,
don't
if-
mind, can I add to this that before I logged into this lease and before I, signed for the lease, I did come into the city of Inkster and ask what was required and what I could do, and could this spot be, a daycare? And I was told yes. And so I went on, I signed the lease, and then when I came in to follow the I don't know the word to use, I apologize.
I remember.
Brain freeze. But then when I came in to follow the rules and apply for because at that time they told me I would only have to apply, I think, for a special land use. That's when things kind of just went. I kind of was spent, and now I'm, so here I am.
Are there any other questions?
So what happens after, if you don't sign the 3-year lease? Does this, if we approve it, does that stay, or is it removed with her leaving the lease?
Well, the variance is just for
Just
this one-time use, so if she decides she will we're gonna reduce the parking spaces that this ordinance says she has to have, so she can put up the temporary
Playground.
playscape.
Yeah.
So if she decides to leave, she can take her playscape, and then the next person will come in. If they wanted to do something, they would have to come back before us
Come
too.
back again,
Because this
okay.
is just particularly for this instance.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Then it would revert back to, based on what kind of business was
Gotcha.
going in there.
Okay.
As to what the ordinance said, what kind of
Okay.
parking they needed, so yeah.
Okay.
So I did want to show you guys, this is somewhat what the playground would look like.
Oh, okay.
Just
Oh,
something.
that's cute.
Can you come up
You can
closer?
come on
Yes, I
up
sure
here.
can. I can actually laminate the picture so I can let you guys see it. Just very simple. Everything will be state of the art, brand new. I have $40,000 that I spent into well, I guess we should just
Just
pass
pass
it
it
down.
down.
Yes, ma'am.
Very
So the
nice.
fencing, again,
Oh,
very
that's very
basic
nice.
white fence, but I will, of course, making the children safe.
Of course.
I'll have different things out to stop you before you even get closer to the fence.
Oh, you're 24 hours here. Oh, okay.
Yes, ma'am, but it will not be more than 15 children at one
24?
time.
That's
That's the
even
goal.
better.
Yes, ma'am. It will not be
Yeah,
more
that's
than
needed.
50
We need it.
children.
Yeah.
And again, it's state of the art. Like everything is brand new. Learning activities. I've been taking a lot of different classes. I bought poster boards, but I'm like, that's probably too much. I didn't just to be able to see, because what I'm learning is that when we first of all, the age of a newborn to the age of 7 is when the brain develops so much. So if we input in them positive sayings and positive affirmations, and you're speaking different things that I didn't know. I had my children, I started at 16. I had no clue. So if I could offer those things to the different parents,
Absolutely.
That's the goal. And I came from Inkster. I don't live in Inkster now, but I'm looking to purchase a home. And if they had something, I would. I love it here. My children go to school in Robichaud, so I drive from Detroit to Robichaud.
Bulldogs.
Yeah, I was a bulldog too.
I'm a person. Commissioner Johnson.
I wanted to ask the commissions, Flower Bowl is right next
It's in
to
the
you.
next,
It's on the other
it's
side.
in
That's
the
the
next
next
section plaza down.
Is
It's
it
like
There's a
almost
space.
two over.
Oh,
It's
yeah, no,
almost two over.
there's a divider
Because I
in
think that
between
was
her,
the issue
the
too.
plaza where she
Yeah,
is.
that area.
and the
And if I would have
on the
opened
side
first,
of
they would
Cherry
not
Hill
have been
Plaza.
able to open,
Absolutely. I
so.
remember
This
that.
space, I mean, the one don't connect to the other.
Shade.
Okay, but you supposed to be so many feet away from,
Yes, ma'am. You're supposed to be 300 square feet from a facility, which I am in
dispensary.
that market. Yes, ma'am.
okay.
But the licensing worker said just put up no smoking signs and so on, which I do notice that they don't smoke outside. I don't know if that is allowed. But yeah, she said just put up no smoking signs, posted, around the
They would have
playground.
good, they would have to walk a good little feet to get from where they
You
are
can
to
get
where
over
she
there.
is.
Yes, ma'am.
Nobody will really
And they ain't gonna,
walk
they ain't
over
fixing to do
there.
that, right,
Okay.
right.
It's so far, it's that far, it's not like.
It's
Yeah.
about 400 and some
feet, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Any other questions or discussions?
I'd like to make a motion.
Yes, go ahead, Commissioner.
I just
Daniels.
wanted to wish her the best.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you.
You know, I
Me
just really
too.
wanted to wish you the best. I
Right.
love it. We don't have
the
any, I
motion.
don't think we have anything like this with regard to daycare for our
let me
children
read
in the
it.
city of Inkster, so
Whoever
I
wanna
wish
make it.
you the best and
Thank you. I
Good
hope
luck to
it
you.
can mold and scope because
Yeah,
just
yeah.
having children run around playing, that's not really getting us anywhere. We need to learn how to teach them,
Absolutely.
early on, introduce different things, classical music, Spanish,
Yes,
different. And they pick it up so fast. My nephew is 6 years old and he can speak Spanish, better than I can. So that I'm seeing it work.
absolutely. I have grandchildren,
grand-
so I know exactly what
Two.
you're saying.
I got 3 grandchildren for you.
Okay.
I'll talk to you.
Somebody at the door. Oh, it's open now.
Oh, okay. All right, so do I have a motion for case number 23-07 for 337-339 Inkster Road, Inkster, Michigan? The applicant has requested a parking reduction variance to the regulations outlined in the zoning ordinance. Do I have a motion?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner
Motion to
Johnson.
approve.
Motion to approve, yeah.
Yeah, motion
By
to approve.
Commissioner Johnson.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Patrice Patton.
Thank you.
All in favor say yay.
Aye.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you
All
so
opposed,
much.
say nay. Motion carried.
Thank you,
Many
Chief.
blessings to you.
Yes,
guys,
you're
God bless
welcome.
you.
I am so,
Especially
thank
with
you.
the 24 hours.
That's 24 hours.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yeah, that 24 hours.
Maybe I take my kids out.
Can we
It
have,
takes a
can we have
village.
an invitation to your grand opening?
Yes.
Yes, thank you for that.
Yes.
I want to come.
Please.
Aw.
Yes, I would
Absolutely.
love
This is
that.
my pastor that came in.
Hi, Pastor.
Oh, hi, Pastor.
And you're from where, Pastor?
I Praise West,
Okay.
Inkster.
Where's that located?
4010 Moore Street.
Oh, that's on more. I was gonna say it's on more. Okay.
Yes.
Congratulations, that's
Yeah.
really nice.
Yes.
We had good
Number
news
4,
today.
do we have any other business to discuss?
No.
Number 5, general
Oh,
public.
she raised her hand.
Who had their hand up? I'm sorry.
Thank you, Chair. It's a question for you all. If there was discussion of us meeting, I know we have a lot of new members on this board. So regardless if the next meeting has business or not, would you all like to still meet to go over anything
I
or?
would like to.
Yes, I would too.
I would think the handbook would need to be gone over because I see we have a new one.
Okay, so I can have that printed for our next meeting and some tidbits, so even if there's
Great.
no agenda, we can spend some time going over that. And if there's
Yes,
no
that would be
business, if
great.
you don't wanna participate, we don't necessarily need a quorum, but we still could meet under the Open Meetings Act on that day. So I'll just have some information prepared if there's, regardless if we have an agenda or business or not.
Yes.
I think we have it in front of us, but what date is that?
Yes, I
I
am.
won't be here.
August 1st.
August
Oh,
1st.
August 1st, I'll be here. Okay.
So August 1st is the regular meeting? It'll
next
be the
one.
regular meeting? Okay.
Okay, Sade, other under business. Is the stipend still $10 a meeting?
can get back to you.
Okay.
I wasn't aware. I will follow up.
Yeah, we were getting $10 a meeting, and I probably haven't been paid for 5 or 6 meetings, but anyway.
I thought it was 75.
I know nothing about
I didn't know the stipend was
It's
paid off.
$10 a meeting.
I knew it was some stipend, but I didn't know it was just.
But-
It's $10, but I do it because I wanna do it, so.
Yeah,
I
I didn't know
don't-
about that. I wanna do it.
I don't get
I've
on them
never
about that
gotten
little,
paid, so
that little
$10
$10,
is
so it
good
don't
for
even
me.
faze me, but that's, back in the old days, we got it
I thought it
regularly.
was,
but-
I don't know where I heard $75 from.
You said 35.
She
No.
said 75.
I'm embarrassed to
She
say
said
it, thinking now.
Well, the 10 is fine with me because we very rarely meet
And we're the
So-
only commission that receives a stipend.
that receives a stipend.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the rest of the
Commission
commissioners.
receives a
the
stipend.
rest of the
Exactly,
commissioners don't.
exactly.
Then I tell the rest
I didn't
of them.
know anything about that.
Right. Number 5, general public comment. We have no public.
No
Wait a
public.
minute, I had something under
Okay,
business.
Commissioner McDaniels.
Ms. Sade, normally we receive a recommendation from the from the ZBA for each case that comes before us. So the next time, could we just have a recommendation,
From the planning commission?
not the planning commission, from the staff of the ZBA?
Oh, okay. So like a staff member recommendation, or I mean from
From
the
your
city
staff, from
your
your
staff.
department.
From your
Okay.
department.
Right.
We normally get a recommendation as to how we should proceed with the,
And is that included in the packet, like when you
Yes.
get this information?
And
Okay.
it's
So can you repeat that?
Yeah.
So say that again now, so.
It's hard for her to talk, she had surgery.
Yeah, I had surgery.
Usually when the applicants have done their thing and it has to get to this point, somebody from planning will put a recommendation on there that this body thinks that it could be approved, but you need to add this, or.
So just like they do in planning, actually?
Yes,
Okay, I got it.
yes,
But it would come from
the Z-
from that
the
department,
community and development?
yes, or, yeah. It might even come from building, depending on what the action is.
Got you.
What the
Okay, I
request is.
understand.
They might have to go to building and say, well,
Okay.
you know, da-da-da-da-da-da, and then the recommendation will be there, yes, but they need this, or
And that can kinda
yes,
help
it's
us in
okay,
our
go
decision,
ahead,
too.
or, yeah. Or
Gotcha.
it might need
Okay.
further investigation, or some further detail.
Yes.
I got a question. Does
Yes.
she need to stay or can she go? If she
So
wants
that's
to.
up to her.
It's up to her.
Yeah, I didn't
because
know if
she's
you
been
wanted to
approved. You've been
stay or
approved
not.
for your request.
Yes.
So, I know you guys are still on the, recording, but I wanted to, so should I just leave the gifts for you?
I gave gifts to the city council and that was on film, so. I don't know.
What did she say?
What is
Is
it?
that
We
a
got some
problem?
gifts. So sweet.
Come on.
She can pass them out.
I don't turn down anything, come on.
Thank you.
Just pass them down. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And what's the name of the church again? I'm sorry, before you go. High Praise West. My daughter-in-law to be High Praise West.
Can I ask you what nomination that is?
Roxy.
Okay.
Say the name again, I'm sorry.
What's in jury?
Daughter-in-law to be is looking for a church home. She's from New York, and they're young, and she's the one with the 3 kids. She had twins and a little.
Yeah, different
Yeah,
colors.
so I'm like, yeah, that could fill a whole purpose. I'm sorry.
Okay, well, since we have no general public comment, because we don't have any really general
This is
public
pretty.
here,
Motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn by Commissioner McDaniel and second by Commissioner Johnson.
All in favor?
All in favor? All opposed?
What time is it?
It is 6:45.
What's your name again? No, her next to you. What's your name again? Yeah, her.
Patrice.
What's your name again? I feel like I know you from somewhere.
At the meeting.